Nobody never got at me directly and said, we want you to join us and we're doing this. I have no fear of death. So, you know what I mean? It just confirms that what I said was true.
Coolio was fully aware of the risks involved when he called out the music industry. He spoke out when many others remained silent, drawing attention to the hidden truths that permeate the industry. Just a few years later, his untimely death raised unsettling questions. Was Coolio taken out for revealing these uncomfortable realities? His legacy now prompts a deeper examination of the pressures faced by artists who dare to challenge the status quo.
I've had come at me on some weirdo, like on some gay.
But that's only the tip of the iceberg. From whispers of questionable behavior to the systematic manipulation of Black artists, the narrative is far more intricate than many understand. Allegations suggest that some of Hollywood's most prominent figures, Diddy, Jay-Z, and the so-called gay mafia have been orchestrating events behind the scenes for decades. This web of influence raises critical questions about power dynamics and the hidden agendas that shape the entertainment industry.
I have no fear of death. So, you know what I mean? It just confirms that what I said was true.
Let's face it, in the hip-hop world, revealing the truth can come at a steep price. For years, whispers circulated about who truly controls the industry and the lengths to which artists must go to maintain their relevance. However, it wasn't until Coolio, the voice behind Gangsta's Paradise, began to speak out that people truly started to listen. Coolio didn't merely discuss shady deals or industry manipulation, he delved into something much darker and more perilous. According to him, during his rise to fame, he was never approached directly by those in power. Instead, individuals were sent to convey the messages they wanted him to receive.
For 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
The statement was directly aimed at the Illuminati. Coolio found it suspicious that the elites never approached him personally. Instead, they sent dubious individuals who pressured him into engaging in inappropriate actions just to get a single song completed.
But I will tell you, I've had it's come at me on some weirdo shit. It's come at me on some weirdo shit, like on some gay shit. I've had my come at me on some, oh, you should do this type shit.
The acts they requested of him were so inhumane that he was shocked to realize this was what it took to secure a position in Hollywood. He expressed, "I view that as being inhuman. I would never do that." This conviction led him to reject their demands, believing it would be beneficial for both himself and the industry. However, this choice backfired as the Hollywood elites attempted to cancel him, orchestrating various misfortunes in his life. Coolio faced serious consequences, including a wrongful arrest at Los Angeles airport for possession of illegal substances. He claimed ignorance of a pipe and other items found in his bag, insisting, "I never tried to put those substances in my luggage, I ain't no idiot." When he informed the police that the items weren't his, they merely stated they would check, specifically searching the bag in which the suspicious items were found, as if they had prior knowledge of it. Sure about his statements, yet he also expressed deep fear about the potential repercussions of exposing the industry's dark secrets. "I have 4 grandchildren and children," he said, revealing his concern for their safety. Coolio insisted he never would have packed illegal substances among his belongings, noting that it didn't make sense to keep such items alongside his normal possessions like his Xbox and various wires. The police at the airport, however, dismissed his claims. When he asked for a DNA test to prove the substances weren't his, the authorities refused, stating, "We don't do that." Determined to clear his name, he offered to pay for the test himself, asserting, "Let me pay to have it tested just so I can clear my name." Unfortunately, this effort did not yield the results he hoped for. Ultimately, Coolio was arrested for possession of both drugs and a firearm. Initially facing 3 years in prison, he managed to negotiate a plea deal that spared him jail time but required him to complete 45 days of community service. Despite his efforts, his reputation suffered significantly. He later clarified that he had no involvement with firearms, stating, "I do not condone the use of firearms, legal or illegal." While the court ruled in his favor regarding the weapon possession charges, he was still sentenced to 10 months in jail for the drug possession case. This ordeal was just one example of the struggles he faced after rejecting the Hollywood elites, and he was left with an overwhelming desire to share more about the industry's inner workings, albeit with a palpable sense of fear for his safety, that have remained hidden for far too long. Coolio, in his final days, was among those brave enough to speak out, despite the immense fear it instilled in him. He believed that the music industry operated on a twisted system where artists, especially black males, were coerced into compromising situations to secure their careers. He recounted witnessing unsettling events, saying, "I've seen some crazy expletive after sharing his experiences. The threats escalated, leading to a series of ominous warnings." Tragically, shortly after revealing his truths, Coolio was found dead in a bathroom at a friend's home, a victim of what the medics reported as a severe heart attack. The legendary rapper, born artist Leon Ivy Jr., was just 59 years old at the time of his death. In the years prior, he had increasingly vocalized his beliefs about the hidden machinations of Hollywood. During interviews, he spoke of the gay mafia, a group of powerful figures who manipulated black artists, insisting that those who refused to comply would face severe consequences, including blacklisting. The unsettling notion that parties were held to humiliate and control artists became a chilling reality for many. According to Coolio, these gatherings were not just social events but rather mechanisms of power, ensuring that those in control maintained loyalty and submission from their artists. Diddy and Jay-Z, two of the most prominent figures in the industry, were often implicated in these disturbing narratives. For years, Coolio and others have alleged that both Diddy and Jay-Z were deeply intertwined in this network of manipulation, feeding into the larger narrative of exploitation within the hip-hop community. As more artists come forward, the layers of secrecy begin to unravel, raising critical questions about the true nature of power in the music industry and the price of fame. In compromising situations, ensuring their loyalty through manipulation and intimidation, these allegations have added fuel to the fire regarding Diddy's alleged connections to the so-called gay mafia, a shadowy group that purportedly holds sway over many in the music industry. The situation surrounding the shooting incident at Chalice Recording Studio has only intensified scrutiny of Diddy's actions. Lil Rod's claims paint a troubling picture of not only the violence that allegedly occurred, but also a culture of silence and deception enforced by Diddy himself. The accusation that Diddy instructed Lil Rod to lie to the police suggests a broader pattern of controlling behavior aimed at preserving his public image at any cost. In the wake of these revelations, many are beginning to question the nature of Diddy's empire. With numerous lawsuits and scandals overshadowing his musical achievements, it seems that the tide may be turning against him. As more individuals come forward with their stories, the facade that Diddy has built over decades may finally start to crumble, revealing a darker side to the hip-hop mogul that has long been whispered about but rarely spoken of publicly. Moreover, the connection between Diddy and Jay-Z cannot be overlooked. With both figures at the center of numerous controversies, industry insiders speculate about the extent of their influence and the lengths they might go to protect their interests. The allegations surrounding their power dynamics, particularly in relation to the manipulation of artists and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals, raise critical questions about accountability within the industry. As the narratives continue to unfold, the public is left to grapple with the chilling implications of what these revelations mean for the future of hip-hop and the artists who navigate its treacherous waters. With the pressure mounting and more voices joining the conversation, it seems that the hidden truths of the music industry may finally be brought to light. Persistent pressure to conform to the expectations of these gatherings, implying that attendees were often coerced into compromising situations. This aligns with the disturbing patterns that have emerged from Lil Rod and Coolio's accounts, suggesting a culture of intimidation and manipulation within Diddy's circles. Williams's revelation that he turned down $50 million multiple times emphasizes the high stakes involved in navigating this world. His refusal to participate in what he described as freak-off parties paints a picture of an industry where morality and integrity are frequently compromised for fame and financial gain. The notion that Diddy allegedly seeks total control, Over-attendees raises serious ethical concerns about consent and the lengths to which some individuals go to maintain their careers in the entertainment industry. These testimonials from Coolio, Lil Rod, and Cat Williams not only shed light on Diddy's alleged behavior, but also highlight a broader issue within the music industry, namely, the exploitation of artists by powerful figures. The recurring themes of threats, manipulation, and the pressure to comply with dubious demands paint a grim portrait of what some artists face behind the scenes. As more voices join this chorus of allegations, the public's perception of Diddy and his influence within the hip-hop community is likely to shift. Fans and industry insiders alike are left questioning how many more artists may have endured similar experiences, and whether those who speak out will face similar repercussions as those before them. The narrative surrounding Diddy and his alleged ties to a culture of fear and control continues to unfold, leaving many to wonder about the true cost of success in the music industry. Only in the streets, but also within the music industry itself. De Haven's claims suggest that Jay-Z's success is built on a foundation of illicit activities, further complicating his image as a business mogul. This duality of being both a respected artist and a rumored drug kingpin creates a narrative that questions the integrity of those at the top of the industry. As more artists like Coolio and Lil Rod speak out against the manipulative tactics of figures like Diddy and Jay-Z, it becomes increasingly apparent that a pattern of exploitation and intimidation exists within the hip-hop world. This environment fosters fear, leading many artists to remain silent about their experiences for fear of retaliation or career destruction. The tragic ends of icons like Tupac, Biggie, and now Coolio raise unsettling questions about the safety of those who dare to challenge the status quo, with whispers of a so-called gay mafia. Controlling the industry, the implications extend beyond personal grievances. They suggest a systemic issue where power dynamics can lead to fatal consequences for those who threaten to expose the truth. As the layers of this narrative unfold, the need for accountability in the music industry becomes more urgent. The stories of these artists highlight the darker realities of fame and the lengths some will go to protect their interests, even at the expense of others. In a world where survival often depends on silence, the courage to speak out may come with a steep price, a price that some endures. He was among the few artists brave enough to confront the powerful figures that have dominated the music industry for decades. That's it for this video, folks. Goodbye.